What up, my people, and welcome back to another episode of In the Sports Overtime. This, of course, our opportunity to have in-depth and the biggest conversations with the brightest stars in the DMV and beyond. Today, I'm bringing my main man to the building, Coach Powell of Flowers, my man, in the sports with me. Coach, thank you so very much for taking a moment with me here, bro.
Appreciate it. Thanks for having us.
Now
Thanks for having
we had some internet connection issues a moment ago here, so the big reveal was ruined. I was just telling you how much I love your beard. You got it in full effect with the salt and pepper grays in the mix today as well, bro. What do you do to get that beard?
man. Just grow it out, man. It's it's a wealth of knowledge, and just day by day with the experience I have, it turns gray. Maybe it's stress, maybe whatever it is, but but it's here. So I just gotta let it express himself.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Okay. Well, that's what's up, bro. Let's go ahead and get started here because we'll get to the end of the season as we get to it. I want to start this conversation at the beginning of the season, though, right? Because I had the opportunity to come out to you all during preseason. You all were one of the first schools that I visited. And to be honest with you, P, I could not have been more impressed. Like I left Flowers that day feeling like the fate of the entire young black community was in good hands after speaking with your guys and speaking with you. I felt so good about everything that was your entire program.
Absolutely, absolutely. We worked hard. It was a step by step type of deal. Coming into Flowers and just each year bringing the community together, bringing all the stakeholders together, and just creating a family bond and those every student athlete here, community, they bought into what we were selling, and it worked out. And so when you came, man, it was just like it was love. It was like, it was natural because these young men put a lot of hard work and time and efforts in it, and our coaching staff as well. And so we knew we had something special. Yeah.
For you personally, where'd that love for the community come from? Like I know that obviously you've been coaching for years now. You've been in Prince George's County for years now. Where did that love for community? How'd you get that?
I was born and raised in Prince George's County, but my parents are educators,
Wow.
and so my father was a coach, and my mom was a dance teacher, and they was counselors, and then they was principals and assistant superintendents. So they kind of grew and got bigger and bigger, but they always gave back to the community the same way, and so I kind of took that on. I had a passion for sports, a passion for athletics, passion for football, passion for education, passion for my people, and so I'm here. I stay 5 minutes from the school.
Yeah, wow.
My daughter went here. She's and graduated from Flowers High School and went on to Hampton University, and I have my young son coming up. So, so even though I graduated from Montgomery County, I will say that I started out in Prince George's County, and then I went to Montgomery County, graduated from Montgomery County, but I
Where'd you
always
graduate out here?
Sherwood High School.
Okay, all right.
Graduated from Sherwood High School. And so some of a lot of things dealing with our student athletes, I understand them. I understand them because I was them. So that's the passion, man. I love the county. I love where I stay, where I come from, and I'm willing to give back.
So, you learn something every day. That's why I love having these conversations, not just interviews. Because I didn't know that you had a daughter that went to Hampton, bro. I'm 7'5'7". My mama just moved from living down the street from HU, but I was born and bred in Hampton, Virginia.
Get out of here, bro. Actually, I just bought a condo down in Hampton, and my parents live right on the water, right
Get
there
out of
by.
here.
Yes, sir.
That's what's up, bro. Yeah, man. 757. I went to Bethel. I went to Allen Iverson School.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, that's a lot of tradition down there,
A
man.
lot of look, man. We haven't our football team hasn't been a winner since Allen Iverson left, so it's been a really long time. I mean, anybody knows about 757 football, though you had the Hampton Crabbers for a really long time. Now you got Phoebus down there doing well. I know that you all know a lot about it. I've been trying to get that game on the books, Coach. I didn't even know that we were going here. You
Yeah,
know what? My man Jeremy Blunt, the head coach at Phoebus, I think that for a minute, and I'll say this on wax, Jeremy Blunt, they were kind of ducking y'all a little bit, and then they circled back around to me a couple weeks ago. It was like, "Can you get us Flowers?" I was like, "Flowers done filled that gap, bro. They filled that gap."
yeah, we was trying to get a game like right away, and I'm gonna be honest with you, this was the best year to do it. I mean, we're back down to square one. We got a lot of youngins coming up, ready, thirsty guys ready to play. But this would be definitely the year where we're gonna start growing it from the bottom on up again. So. But yeah, man, we wanted that bump, man. We want to get out and see the best and see,
That's right.
what everybody got to offer.
That's what's up. Well, look, Coach Blunt, you holler at me again, but next time, make sure you do it in enough time that we can get you up here and the DMV can see how y'all 757 young men play. I want to kind of go back to that previous point there, just as we look at yourself and other strong black men, other strong black coaches. I was interviewing Coach Ward and Cam Ward from Largo on yesterday, and it was just so impressive to see the young man that Cam Ward is and to hear him talk about how important it is in his life to have his father there with him, both as obviously a head coach and as a dad, just helping to shape and mold his life and development. So it's no surprise how good of a young man that he is. How important is that for our community to have more strong black men who give a damn around these kids?
That's a great question. They need us. These young men and women, they need us. They need positive young black male figures to help, because some of them don't have an avenue or don't know where to go. They need some mentoring. They need some guidance. And that's what we do here. We go above and beyond for our students, our athletes, our young men and women here, and we want the best for them, because some of them don't have. Everybody has their own way of life. Some don't have their parents, or somebody may not have their father or mother. You don't know what's going on in these young people's lives, and they need people like us to stir them in the right way. That's what we hear. This is what we do, and it's just so rewarding. I love it, and we welcome everybody with open arms. I'm a school counselor, so it's kind of in my heart. But like I told you, with my parents, they was counselors, and my staff is really good. Like we want to bring them in and mold these young men into men. That's the type of deal. We never turn our back on them. They go. You never turn our back on them. You just know. There's so many stories we can bring out. Like these young men going, they end up and they try to go straight, and then they veer off to another
Sure.
way, and it is our job to help and try to get them back on track and get them going again, man. And that's what we all about. If it ain't us, then who, right?
Again, this is another thing that I didn't plan on asking you about, but I want to ask it because it's important to me. Um, Flowers Fight Day. How do we make sure something like that, and whether it's at Flowers or whether it's at this school, that school, or the next school, how do we make sure that these things don't happen?
We need more. We need more leadership. We need more people that, like you said, give a darn, to come around and put their arms around these young people. Um, we got to fix some things in our system, but those are conversations we just need to have. But I think everybody's willing. If you're in education, everybody wants the best for these young folks, and it's our job to steer them the right way. But we need strong black men, definitely, in our school system, and we definitely need strong leadership.
And like I said, I don't ask you that from an administrative perspective. I don't even ask you that from a Flowers perspective. But again, from the perspective of another man who cares about our communities, because we're seeing this everywhere. It's just that that was on social media with the hashtag, so that's why it became a thing that was highlighted there. But we're seeing this all across Maryland, and it's almost as if, Coach, again, all across Maryland, all in DC and in parts of Virginia, you got drug overdoses every other day in nice neighborhoods, which is just absolutely outstanding. We got, you know what I'm saying, fights and other violence that's going on. And so it's almost like school is not a safe haven. And I know that there's always been things in schools, but it's almost like now what used to be outside of those doors is now inside of our schools.
It's this way it is right now. We just need more people that care. You know, we just need more. It's not like people don't care now. It's just we just need more. We need to wrap our hands around these young people and show them the way. And that's just what it is. You know, everything to me as far as school, you know, and some of the things is like, you know, when we was coming up, you'll hear the things. Well, you know, back in my day, we could,
Right.
you know, we can't do that thing now. What we could do back then, you know,
Right.
they could pull you there, they could pull you in the room and you know, kind of put their hands on you a little bit. Well, you can't do that now, right? Everybody you get any type of consequences is kind of lightened now, and you know as you get older, you know back in the day, you know you may get a little spanking from your daddy, but as you get older, he'd be like, oh well, son, you know
That's
you
right.
don't get spankings anymore, you know. So it's kind of trickles down to where we are right now. You know, we need more. We need more people who care and that to come in and put our arms around these people and let them show them the right way
The right way.
and the right way. And so this fight thing, the social media, and you know, everybody want to see a buzz. You know, it's just not it. You know,
That's right.
it's
That's
just
right.
not it. So
Well, you know, I tell you what, brother, I know that I am again increasingly thankful for knowing that there are brothers like you that are in the system that is taking care of all it is that you can take care of. So please, by all means, keep doing that. But we'll go ahead and get back out there to the football field now. So one of my first trips to Flowers, or at least when I was made aware of the presence of Flowers, was when my main man Jalen Buck McCain and his dad Mark McCain. Those are also, you know, you want to talk about a father and son combination. I learned so much from Mark McCain, had so much love and respect for that family. But it's when Buck was out there at Flowers, and I bring them up because at that point in time, Coach, Flowers was still by all means kind of like the kid brother, like in every stretch of the imagination, the kid brother. You all obviously went from that kid brother stage to now being a perennial championship contender. How'd you make that happen?
this is a lot of listen. This is a lot of hard work, dedicated, having a vision, man, having a, you know, some goals, and we put everything. You know, we wanted to enhance everything we've done from year to year, from day to day, and we wanted to get better. And so those are the type of things we brought everybody in. We had coaches clinics. We build rapport with us and got stronger as a group every
Yeah,
day with the guys. And so we made that connection and just said, okay, you know what? This is the time. This is the time. We put the plan in place, and every day we got better as a team. And so you can, if you go back and look, I got here in 2017.
yeah.
In 2017, I took over a team that was 4-6,
Mm,
and so we came out 6-4, then 10-0, and 10-0 in the regular season, and we just kept building from there. When you talk about Jalen McCain and Mr. McCain, Coach McCain were some of the best people I ever met, man.
amazing.
Amazing
Amazing.
people,
Yeah.
amazing people, man. And so he's, you know, I took a lot of knowledge from Coach McCain, man, and he brought a lot of knowledge to the game, and so with Jaden, and they just so wonderful people. But they was part of that. They was part of that vision, and you know, taking our step to the next. And now we, you know, it's just the culture. It's just what we do. We're gonna win games regardless. We're gonna be there at the end regardless, because we know that our formula works. We know that these young men is going to run through a brick wall for us because there's a standard there, and so we're, we're gonna we're gonna hold them to that, and so that's the biggest thing. Flowers is a winning culture, and we're
Yeah,
always going to be a winning culture. And I'm gonna tell you one more thing: they understand that. They know we're not going to lie to them. They know we're they these young men these days can tell you when you forgave or when you're telling
100%.
something. Yeah. So we're not going to sit there and treat them and show them the wrong way. We're going to tell them the truth. We're going to tell them exactly what they need to know.
So is that why? Is that kind of transparency, that type of relationship? Is that why now the student athletes want to be Jags?
Oh yeah, it's definitely transparency is being 100 with them, letting them know, but also they have opportunities, man. They see that we care. See, when you just there for football, that's the problem.
Yeah.
When you just come and say, hey, come on, let's put your helmet on, let's go out there and play football. Nah, that's the problem. You got to have other things. You got to go above and beyond. I talk about that in some of my clinics about going above and beyond for your program. And when they see that, and when they see you working for them to get into school and working for them, they having issues at home and working with their parents and working. Those are the little things that people start to see, and then they'll start to buy into what you talking.
100%. I think that looking back to 2 years ago, that this was kind of like obviously the pinnacle. You go and you knock off Wise twice, huge as this program took steps forward. You knock off Wise twice, and again, I'm at that state championship game. Everybody, people say that I'm a QO homer. I
Yeah,
love Coach Kelly. I
yeah.
love the Cougars. They live closest to me. I live in Montgomery County, but I love all of the teams. But you all had them on the ropes in many ways in that first half. What did you take away from that season in terms of when you look back at it and how far the Jags had come and how much further they needed to go?
Oh yeah, I thought it was a excellent season. Um, I took from that is that, man, we was really good, but I think we met a team that was better, and they was more prepared, and they was more conditioned, for that game. So
They've been there before, Coach.
they've been there before.
Yeah.
And so that was the biggest thing. The lights, a lot of lights wasn't big for me, but some other people, them lights were big. So I mean, it was just like, okay, all right. But those are the things we took, and we was ready. We was ready to move on from that, and that was some of the things we addressed during that off season to let them know, okay, this is what it is. I mean, the little things that I paid attention with Coach Kelly, and shout out to him, man, because he do a good job with his program
It's my
and what
dude.
they do. Yeah, man. And so those little things we took, and then that's what's make us better. So that's getting the coaches together, making us better day by day is paying attention to those little things and enhancing what we do.
So when we get back to this past season here, you all are playing Wise again, and every year that you all played them, at least in the past, and likely moving forward as well, every year that you all play them in the regular season, it's the biggest game, the biggest ticket going down in PG County. You all got them again. It's reminiscent of the regular season game of the previous season. Defensive struggle, only this time they end up winning on a field goal in overtime. Walk me through your thoughts on that game and how heartbreaking was it, even though it was a regular season.
It was a heartbreaking loss, but it's a rivalry game. Like, that's a real rivalry, man. Like, it was a real good game. Our defense played phenomenal.
Lights out.
They lights out. I mean, they had -5 yards of offense, total offense. Lights out. But if you ask each side, it'd be like, well, their side would probably say, "How the heck we win that game?" Our side would probably say, "How the heck we lose that game?" It was just one of those, but it's a rival game. I mean, stuff happens and it comes down. You got to play 4 quarters of football. So yeah, they won it. And there's no excuses on our part. We were just ready. We knew if we got back to it and we played them again, a lot of these mistakes would have been cut off, and then it would have been we would have had it.
Well, you bring me to my next question, Coach. Internally, obviously, and we'll get to it. There's a lot to be disappointed about, but internally, how disappointed were you and your staff, your young men, that you all didn't have that second bite at the apple to play that team again, who obviously went on to win the state championship?
Very disappointed. We was disappointed, but that's just the way it went. We was hoping to get back, just like Coach P said. We was on different sides of the bracket. So, man, imagine us playing them in at Navy Stadium, possibly. Good God Almighty!
All of PG would have been there.
All of PG would have been there. I mean, why? I mean, how can you not think about that, right? And so, but we was ready. I just didn't think anybody really could have stood in our way going forward. Just the type of team we had here.
Now, they Wise has not named a head coach yet. I know who it is that I'm hoping ends up being the head coach of that team next year moving forward. But I'll let the powers that be take care of what the powers that be need to do. But with Coach P gone, does this rivalry lose any of its mystique?
That's a good question.
Come on now, that's what we're here for, bruh.
I think the rivalry will still be the rivalry. It'll be a little bit less because Coach P is not there. Let's be real. Okay, I got to give respect to him on the football aspect of the side of it. He brought that program from the bottom up since it started. So, and he maintained excellence throughout, right? So, yeah, the rivalry will always be the rivalry, and you got to understand, he hasn't lost. When Coach P was there, he didn't lose to anybody but Flowers and Duval, which Coach Powell and coaches was there. So me and him always had a back and forth, relation as far as on the football field. And so I think the rivalry will still be there. I think he left that program in really good hands. So whoever the coaches they will be successful. But it just won't be on as height as Coach P had.
Coach, I was talking with Coach. I interviewed with Coach in studio during the year, and of course that was coming off of you all having beaten them twice the previous year. And I asked him then. I said, Coach, word on the streets is that there's a new king of Prince George's County out here, right? So that was during the season. After the season, after they won the title, Coach on my show was sure to tell me that the king had his crown back. Can you all ever actually take that crown back since he's gone and he's not even there no more?
Without a doubt.
Okay.
Without a doubt. Listen. I have 100% confidence in myself and our staff that we can get anything done. So yes, to answer your question, we can definitely take that. Just like we had it before, we could take it right back.
That's what's up. So and I guess to be clear, you don't have to go through DeLon Parish to be the kings of Prince George's County.
Absolutely, absolutely not.
All right. Okay. All right. All right. So let's go ahead and turn the page here. So now we've gone through the regular season again. You all are cruising. I think that at least by my own standards, again, I was at that game against Wise. I've seen Quince Orchard play. I think that in the very least, you all had to be even. If this was a betting game, which is high school sports, so there's no betting going on whatsoever. But if it was a betting man's game, you all would at least be even in terms of the favorite to come out of the Maryland 4A. Obviously, that didn't happen. Walk me through the day that you found out that you all would not be able to play in the playoffs.
Oh, man, that was a rough day. It was devastating. It was brought to our attention that that Thursday that we was getting investigated for having an illegal player. So um, Thursday at afternoon we found out. Friday we having a hearing. In less than 24 hours, there was a decision made. Um, it was a rough ordeal. It was devastating for our seniors, our 35 seniors that we had on the team.
35 seniors, coach.
35, 35 seniors, our administration, our coaching staff, just everybody, the community, man, it was just rough. It's not a place I go or anywhere I go where they say, man, I'm sorry what happened to you. I mean, it's everywhere. And so everybody, we had a really good team. We felt that was our state championship team. I'm sure others did too. And it's just something that, that is still hard to really think about, because it's heavy on our hearts. But we gave out these wristbands, and it says hard work, determination by being great. But it says when you're faced with adversity, it's how you respond that matters.
Wow.
And so that's where we are. We responded. We talked to our team, definitely our 35 seniors. We put 17 young men in school so far signed. We got 8 more that want to play, and we're just trying to move on from that and have them and have them move on to better heights in their life.
I think that as we kind of draw this back to the first question that I asked you, I was active in doing all that I could to attempt to, if nothing else, bring clarity to the situation. If not, do my best to help you all get back out there on the football field, because I loved the young men that were on your team. I had love for your program. What was that final conversation like with them? Because I know that you all as a community were doing all that you could to get back out there on the field. So when it was finally over, what was that conversation like with your young men?
It was hard. It was hard, Chad. It was just guys was crying. Some of them walked out. You know, they just couldn't believe that this was it. It was going to end like that. Like, why them? Why? And it was just something that we knew it was going to be a day by day process of just trying to getting everybody back together. Heck, I'm still trying to get all our coaching staff heads back together.
Yeah.
It's not an easy thing to do. It's just not, especially knowing what you had and where we was headed. I mean, we was in the second playoff game getting ready to go in right before, and we get a decision that we can't play.
Yeah.
It's heartbreaking, man. And I just don't understand how, that can happen, especially to these kids. So, yeah, man, it was a tough meeting, but we got through it. And the guys are getting better as we speak.
You and I, we had a couple of conversations off the record during that point in time. And again, as you being someone who cares so much about your program and deeper than football, so much about the young men within your program, I can't imagine how you had to feel during that, knowing that, because we're men, right? Like, we deal with life and disappointment and hard times, and we take it on the chin and we keep going. Hopefully now we're getting out of the point where we just tuck stuff in. Maybe we're talking to people and counselors and everything else, but either way, we're grown-ass men, right? But
That's right. That's right.
these are young men. In some instances they're boys, and so I can't imagine how you felt seeing that pain that they felt in that span of those days.
I was bad. I didn't do so well. Behind closed doors, I wasn't well at all. But I had to be strong for them. So it was a rough process. Going through it, and I still have some rough days.
Sure.
But we got to pick ourselves up. We got to keep moving, and that's just what it's all about. But yeah, man, I'm gonna be honest with you. It was one of the roughest things I ever been through,
100.
because it was one of the roughest things I ever been through, and so dealing with that, and you got so many the whole community looking up at you, like, and it's just like, yeah,
H-
just got to keep moving.
How'd you get over it, or how'd you get through it? I mean, we make that mistake of saying over it. How'd you get through it?
Prayer. Um, I have very strong people in my corners. I'm family. Our principal was wonderful. The community was wonderful. We all came together as a family. But a lot of prayer and time. You know, a lot of prayer and time. So
When you take a look, and again, I don't want to get too far into the weeds of things. I know that obviously there are, we have professions, we have jobs, so I don't want to get too far into the weeds. But there's obviously, not only with you all, but with Wise and maybe a couple of other schools as well, that at the beginning of the season that they gave some student athletes that maybe should not be playing at that point. At that point, did you all have any idea, any knowledge that this might be coming down the pike later on? Should this have been known at the beginning of the season when these preliminary findings were found?
absolutely, I truly believe that's why it was so shocking because we didn't know. Uh, well, we sent our roster in. We felt like the roster was good, and once we went through that whole situation with the transfers and that sort of thing, um, we figured that everything was there. For everybody to go through the roster and do what I felt like the ADs, everybody felt like everything was good, and so uh, for it to happen second week in the playoffs, we was like, well, where did this come from? Like, what's going on? So it's just it was just an unfortunate situation.
Where did it come from, Coach? Where did who where was the whistle blown, Coach? You know what I'm saying? The streets is talking. We done, nowadays we've had months now to have all the conversations, all the text conversations, saw everything on Facebook, etc. Where'd it come from?
you know, um, Listen, one thing I learned a lot of lessons. Those who call you a friend are really not your friends. The people who let that you hang around are really not your friends. Everybody got their own personal thing or own motives, that they want to do. So I don't know where it came from. I'm not that guy. Okay, I that's just not me. And so it may be some of the other folks that go and they can whistle blow and blow their whistle. This person right here ain't doing all that. So um, you know, I have an idea. Just like the streets is talking. We definitely heard everything, but that's just not up to me to be putting out there.
I got you. I got you. I got you. I have to ask you this. I wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't ask you. Did you know
No,
about the young man? Did
oh
did
no, mm-mm. I did not know. I did not know, and that was the biggest thing about it. Without getting too much into it,
without getting
he,
too much into it?
yeah, it was a young man that just went. He went to a whole bunch of different schools, and we didn't
I've
have all
seen it. Right, yeah.
we didn't have all the proper paperwork. So that's just what it is.
It is what it is. Did you and I again, keeping everything straightforward, I called you about my next question because when I heard it, I needed to know, not only for my job, but also for a man who I actually consider a friend. I called you because I was getting word that your career there at Flowers might be on the verge of ending there. Was that ever in the cards, or did they have your back throughout?
Oh yeah, well that no, I don't believe that was in the cards. I thought those were just some rumors some people put out. Um,
Coach, you
uh,
got people whistleblowing, putting out rumors. You got the whole damn bag.
hey man, I must be a bad member, Jammer Hunter chat. uh, Listen, I heard the same rumors, but no, I'm still here. I'll be back next year for next season. But I'll be ready to go. You know, I did have some opportunities. You know, I was just so mad and angry. Um, I did have some opportunities to interview other places,
Sure.
and I did do that. But at the end of the day, my heart's here, and I want to stick it out with these young men here.
I think that's interesting because again, you look at Coach P. He has moved on from Prince George's County. My man, Coach Overton, down at Freedom, moved on from Freedom, who was building potentially one of the greatest high school prep programs that I've seen. And his moving on was a lot to do with his relationship with the school system and the school board as well. What does this say about just the overall relationships? Because in the three of you, I see three black men who are trying to do the best for their communities. So, what does this say when sometimes you all may not feel the love from the outside organization that should have you all's backs?
We're making big strides here in our community. We're saving lives. You know, we doing a lot for these young black men or young men that keeping them off the street, keeping them from doing crazy things. Um, and so we just need some support. A little bit more support. And we want to feel, we want to feel like that we have some backing at times. So um, I don't know everybody else's case.
Sure.
You know, uh, I know here, um, Prince George's County. I know. Starting from Flowers with our principal, we got a first of all, we got a wonderful principal. Our principal
What's
is
up?
A1,
That's
A1, and so he is definitely one of the guys he's one of my mentors I look up to. And so I just think we, as a county, as it comes to athletics, I think we can. Some hard conversation needs to be had. I think we can do a little better.
what's
I
up.
just think we can do a little better. So, um, and I'm a Prince George's County Coaches Association president, and some of the things that we talk about is coaches pay. And how we can we're doing so much. You talk about the Lago coaching and what he's done to his son. All we have so many great coaches in our community in our county, and we're doing so much good things and putting a lot of time. I just feel like we deserve it.
Look, man, I think that that's a great point, right? Because again, when you look at the ramifications, and I'm not as educated on this as you are or even the next man, but what I do know is that so much that occurs in the life of a young man that could be negative are between those hours of when they get out of school and before the time that their parents get off of work. And so what you and your staff and these tons of other staffs, PG County, Montgomery County, and beyond, what you all are doing is you're doing more than teaching football. You're bridging that gap. You are bridging that gap that keeps our young men and young ladies safe and hopefully also instills some other things to them. You should be paid for that and paid well for that.
Absolutely, absolutely, and when we have, especially where we are, where we one of the richest counties, but at the same time, we have some very good athletes, and we're one of the lowest paid coaches in the
Wow.
state of Maryland.
Wow.
So we, and this is my association president hat on here. So
Yeah, man.
but we do a lot for these kids. We keeping them off the street. I mean, at our program, man, they not getting home till 7:30, 8 o'clock, but they're tired. They doing their homework and they going to sleep. What
Going to
else
bed.
what else can they do?
That's right.
What else can they do? And they got to wake up and do it again all over again. And those are some of the things, man, that we need to kind of say, wrap our hands around because we're making some strides here, and people got to understand that.
I agree with that, brother. And like I said, man, you keep on doing the good work daily. I got a two-part question, then I'll let you get out of here on this.
Uh,
First part of this question is, what is next for the Flowers Jags as a football program?
Well, we graduate 35 seniors. Okay, we have 17 signed, 8 more to go. I have 2 guys on offense who started and 2 guys on defense who started. So there's some positions available, and I'm telling you, listen, we're at it every day, and I'm telling them, look, hey, every position is available. You know, we just got to work hard for it and get it going. Listen, we done built programs so everywhere we went. I went to Duval, we built that to a powerhouse. We came to Flowers, we building this to a powerhouse. It doesn't, starting from a young team doesn't bother us at all. This is what we do. We develop young men. This is what we do. So and I don't care if we're young or old. We're gonna bring it every day and every game. So it's just what it is. That's just our motto. Is how we get down, Chad. This is how we get down, and we ain't scared of nobody. We ain't scared. All right, we ain't scared.
Look, bro, I believe you.
Getting it done. We getting it done.
I believe you. I believe you 1,000%. It got me ready. I'm old, coach, but if I wasn't so old, I'd run through a brick wall for you as well. Okay. All right. All right. Last question for you. I'll get you out of here on this. I am a man who always wants to know about a man's origin story, where it is that they come from, why it is that they have become who it is that they are. But I also want to know about their journey and about their process. So for you, for Coach Powell, where are you in your journey and what's next in the process for you as a man?
That's a darn good question. I'm here, man. I'm at Flowers. Not only I'm a school counselor, I'm a head football coach, and I want to coach and I want to still build young men. I do got high aspirations to be on the next level and do a little bit of college, and being a head coach or a coordinator there. And I just want to give my all back to my community. You know, I'm a part of Mega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated. I always giving back to the community, and that's just who I am. That's just part of my core value.
That's what's up. I didn't even know you as a Q, bro. That explains that beard right there. Go right there. It's all making sense now, coach. Nah, hey, bro, thank you so very much for taking this time with me, man. I am a big fan of your program. I'm a big fan of your young men. I'm a big fan of you. I appreciate you.
Dad, I'm a big fan of you. I appreciate having this platform for folks to come on and can tell their story and you bring it out of, man. I really appreciate it.
The Club Shay Shay of DMV Sports, right here.
No doubt.
Ricardo Report, bruh.